All right. So we're here with another top 5 video, and today we're going over the top 5 coal ships to get in 2025. They've been added a new bunch of coal ships over 2024 to 2025. So let's hop to it. So this list is going to be in no particular order, just my top 5 of coal ships to get and honorable mentions. First, let's just go over the coal ships real quick so you guys are, if you're new to coal ships, pretty much in the armory, you're able to get coal ships here. You just scroll down, you can look here, you can get all these coal ships. You are able to get a fresh coupon every few months that are for steel and coal. It's 25% off. You only use this one at a time. So you can do that, which is pretty nice for sure. But anywho, normally for the coal ships, you'd recommend, if it's like your first, make sure you use the the coupon to be able to get the cheapest so you can keep saving for more coupons. Or if you plan on buying a steel ship, use the coupon for that instead, since you can get coal really easily by just playing daily and getting the ship, getting the daily containers. You can get it from there. So normally it's a lot easier to get coal than it is steel. So to start us off, the first ship is going to be the Moskva, which is, let's see, how much is it worth? I always forget like the exact number. Coal ship, tier 10. Let's see, 244,000 coal. You can use the coupon or reduce that by 25% if you wish. Moskva is one of the top competitive and strong cruisers in the game. It has a very nice armor, 25 millimeters in the top of the bow and the bottom, and then the middle is the armor. Deck is 50 millimeters, which is really nice against HE farm since this ship is mainly a bow wing ship, and 25 millimeter aft with a 155 millimeter armor belt and a citadel belt of 155. It's definitely not going to help you from being citadeled. This citadel is very high out of the water, so you do not want to be showing broadside in this ship at all, or you're going to get dev struck, which a lot of poor Moskva players have learned over time. HP pull is 65,000, which is really nice. This ship has 9 guns on it, which are 220 millimeters. The shells are also very quick as well, 985 meters per second, one of the fastest shells velocities in the game. Also, this ship is very, 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 very accurate. So it's really good at being bowing near islands, using its hydro and radar coverage to be able to help support caps and shoot at incoming destroyers or cruisers. This thing is, AP is really good against cruisers and battleships alike on their broadsides, and the HE is really good at long distance shooting on destroyers, battleships, cruisers, or you name it. It's really good in that regard. An all reliable coal ship for sure. The ship is also quite maneuverable with 34 knots. Turning radius though, yeah, you don't want to show broadside in this all. The main downside of this ship is its vulnerable broadside and that massive concealment of 14.1 kilometers. You do not want to show broad on this side in this thing, or you will be in a lot of pain. So the next coal ship that is going to be the Napoli, which is definitely one of the top coal ships in the game, just in general, as for competitive and just for fun playing. And that's for its main gimmick, which is its sap secondaries, its exhaust smoke, and the fighter spotting, which allows it to farm secondaries while it's in a smoke. You can get the Napoli for 252,000 coal, or you can use the coupon to get it cheaper. The ship has a decent armor on it, 25 millimeter bow with a 60 millimeter armor. Deck is 40 millimeters, which does help you against that HE farm. Citadel plating of 220. It is pretty hard to citadel a Napoli. It is pretty tough to, but it is still possible. So yeah, definitely wanted to show too much broadside on this ship. HP pull of 66,900. Ha, 69. Very nice. It has 9 guns on it. They're 254 millimeters. The ship's main damage dealing isn't really the main gun, is the secondaries. Of course, the main guns, you can start fires with the main guns with HE, or if you see broadside ships, you can use AP on them as well to do damage with that. It does have 8 torpedoes that are 13.5 kilometers off the rear. They do have very nice angles off the rear, so if you're kiting away or turning out from a target while in smoke, you can use those torpedoes to do a lot of damage. Anti-air, though, it's a typical Italian anti-air, not the best. Maneuverability, 37.3 knots, which is pretty quick, with a very tight turning radius, which makes it very maneuverable for sure. Concealment's 11.5, which is for my build. You can go all the way down to 10.5 kilometers if you build it all the way, but I personally don't. Since the secondaries go to 11 kilometers, I like going to more DPM than full concealment, because if you go full concealment, it's about 10.5 and the secondaries go to 11, so you can technically, your secondaries will reveal you because of the being 11 kilometers, so it's kind of like a stealth secondary ship. There aren't many of them, but this is one of the few ones, but I'd rather just go extra DPM. That's why I built it like that. So this ship's a lot of fun, a fun brawler, good HE and AP farmer at distance if you have to, but most people play this thing as a brawler using that exhaust smoke and fighter combo, where if you're pushing into the enemy and you're within your secondary range, you pop the exhaust smoke and then you pop the fighter so that the fighter is able to spot for you while you're in the smoke. So you don't have to rely on your ally spotting. You can rely on just your fighter spotting until they shoot the plane down. So you want to keep your distance far enough away to where they can't shoot the fighter, but you're still close enough to where you can still hit your secondaries accurately. Now you can also use your main guns in the smoke, very carefully though. Let me see, I just need to find the number real quick. Up to 8.8 kilometers. So if a enemy is within 8.8 kilometers of you while you're in the smoke, they will spot you when you shoot. But if you're outside of that, then they will not. So it's better to use your guns. Of course, you need to use your guns outside of like 19 kilometers if you're in smoke. And if you're within 9 kilometers, then don't. And let me know what you guys think of these top 5 so far. We're going to be going to a little bit of a lower tier for the next 2. And you guys can write down your guesses in the comments on what you think it is. But I bet most of you are going to figure out what this one is, since it is one of the top tier 9 destroyers at the moment, and is going to be the Jager, which you can get for 225,000 coal. This ship, at first glance, looks pretty weird. It's not the most beautiful of ships, but it is definitely powerful for sure. This camo, I don't remember where I got it from, but it does like a little hot rod feel for it, so it's pretty cool in that regard. So the Jager is one of the top tier 9 torpedo boats in the game, besides something like a Benham. You don't want to worry about the guns. The guns are pretty poor on it, so don't worry about that. But you get 12 torpedoes on this thing with a 12-kilometer range, and when you build into it, you get a really fast reload. I don't remember if I have the reload on this thing. No, I don't. This isn't my small end build, so you don't. Normally, you're going to build into torpedoes to get that reload down to about 60 seconds-ish. So you can get 12 torpedoes around every 60 seconds. So you are literally just bullying whole flanks with all of these torpedoes. And these torpedoes are not slow either. They go 90 knots. They are extremely quick, and you can build into them to be even quicker by 5%. So you can get them up to like almost 100 knots, which is insanely fast for torpedoes. Now, these torpedoes don't do a lot of damage, but they're more meant to do like flooding or like floods or pure volume of damage to a target. You're able to stop whole flanks with this ship alone. And it's also a quick ship as well with 38.9 knots. You also get an engine boost as well, which boosts that by about 8%. So pretty nice in that regard. So it gets it up to about like 42-ish, 43 knots-ish. For concealment, you have one of the best concealments in the game with a 5.4 kilometer concealment. Yeah, you are almost unspottable in this thing against every ship you're going to come against. Only thing is going to be your weakness is a DD with 6-kilometer hydro, a radar, an equally stealthy destroyer, which is like a tier 9 one that has 5.4, but not many of them do, or an aircraft carrier that just hovers over you, because if there is an aircraft carrier that is just hovering over you, you are not going to be having fun. it's gonna be a hell for sure, but everything else on this ship is amazing. You also can make a lot of credits as well with this, since it is a tier 9 premium. And tier 9 premiums get the coveted enhanced credit earnings and of course the reduced service costs. So you get that both, which is really nice, while tier 10 special ships only get the reduced service costs and not the enhanced earnings. So really nice bonus for the Jager in particular. So on to the next coal ship recommendation for the top coal ships to get out 2025. It is going to be the Scharnhorst 43. They recently added this. Let me see that. I don't say recently. I think like 5 or 6 months, maybe 7 months ago. If someone in the comments can let me know exactly when, but they did add it. Originally, it was just a premium, and then they added it to a coal ship, which I was very happy about. You can get this ship for 85,000 coal, and that is such a steal for how amazing this ship is. So a lot of people play the Scharnhorst, the regular Scharnhorst, as a secondary ship, right? Or they want it to be a secondary. It's like, man, I wish this thing had an engine boost. I wish the secondaries were better. I wish they had a faster reload, right? And I wish you had faster torpedo reload. Well, this is legit a brawler version of the Scharnhorst, right? It's a Scharnhorst 43. The regular Scharnhorst is more of a mid to long range ship, while this is more of a brawler close range ship. The main differences between the Scharnhorst and the Scharnhorst 43, the Scharnhorst 43 has a quicker reloading torps, and it has better secondaries. I believe the secondaries shoot quicker. I don't remember exactly, but I believe that should be the difference. They shoot a little bit quicker. The secondaries are just better on this ship. While with the regular Scharnhorst, it's better. The guns are slightly more accurate. Oh yeah, the guns are more accurate on the Scharnhorst, while the Scharnhorst 2, they are less accurate. So you trade gun performance for better brawler performance for the secondaries and the torpedoes. On the Scharnhorst 43, you also get an engine boost that increases your speed by 15% for over 4 minutes. So you get a top speed about 37 knots, which is really quick for a tier 7 battleship. The armor on this thing is also really nice as well, with a top bow being 26 and 70 on the bottom. The deck is 50 millimeters, which really helps you against HE throwers. Really, really good. It does help you a lot against HE throwers, or just anything in, most shells in general. So pretty nice. It is really hard to sit at all the ships since it does have a turtle back. So yeah, you still don't want to show broadside, but still good in that regard. And since you do have 6 kilometer 45-second reloading torps, it's really nice to be able to brawl with this thing and legit just go into a fight, brawl, W in, get one side off, get the other off, and then by the time you do that, you already have the other side reloaded and just use that. So much fun to do. This is probably one of my top recommendations from this. If you're gonna get any of them, it's the cheapest on this list, and it just does amazing at tier 7. It's just so much fun to play, and it's also lower tiers, so you'll have more fun at lower tiers rather than dealing with the higher tier matchmaking. All right, so there are 2 honorable mentions that I'm going to be going over before I go into the final. And let me know what you guys think of the list so far of the top 5 must-haves for 2025 coal ships. The tier 9 coal ship I'm going to be recommending, there's 2 coal ships we're recommending. It's going to be the Groningen. Groningen is by far one of the best credit grinders in this game. It is just purely simple a farming ship. You want to play a ship that is farming. You want one that can farm credits, farm battleships, cruisers, DDs, you name it. This is the ship for you. Amazingly quick reload of 1.6 seconds with 4 guns. Maneuverability isn't the best, 38 knots-ish. Concealment 6.4. Where this ship really shines is the smoke, which is a very long smoke, which lasts a long time, allow you to farm for 2 minutes, and it has a hydro of 5 kilometers and torpedoes of 3.5. Really good for being able to sit in smoke. Use the hydro to either spot incoming destroyers or torpedoes, or if you want to play more aggressive, which you can kind of push into enemy smoke with that hydro and just farm the living crap of whatever is there. The depth charges are off the front, so if you're chasing a submarine, you can use those torpedoes off those depth charges off the front and kind of do a lot of damage with that. Anti-air on this thing is actually really strong when it's combined with the DFA, so you can hold your own against the same like tier 8 aircraft carriers and tier 9 with the DFA. If you don't have DFA, it's gonna be a lot harder, but with it, it does really good. So highly recommend this ship for a credit farmer ship or just a crew trainer as well, because it has the enhanced credit earnings and the reduced service costs. My final honorary mention is going to be one of my favorite ships in the game. Everybody that knows me knows that I play this thing a lot, or I used to. It is the Marceau. The Marceau costs 236,000 coal. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the Groningen costs 228,000. I just wanted to make sure you guys saw that. Just make sure you guys know the prices. Marceau. So I know so some of you guys may not know. So the French destroyers, right? The French tech tree, right? You go to the tech tree, you take a look. You have the Kleber and the Cassard. Cassard's more of a jack of all trade of the French, while the Kleber line is more of an open water farmers, right? Long range open farming destroyers. The Marceau takes that concept of open farming a little bit down and makes it more of a destroyer hunter. Now, these guns are Colbert guns. You get 88 guns in total with a 3.1 second reload. You also get 9-kilometer torpedoes with a very long reload. So you aren't really using this ship more as a torpedo boat. You can use the torps, of course, but you're more focused on the guns. And this thing is really fast. 46.2 knot top speed with the flag, and you have the engine boost of 20%. So you go up to like 50 something knots. This thing is a speed demon, and this thing is hungry for two things: destroyers and submarines. This thing makes a giga chad of destroyer hunters. This thing is one of the best, very versatile. You can hunt destroyers, farm cruisers, battleships, you name it, it can do it. It's not as good of an open water farmer as a Kleber, since a Kleber has faster velocity shells, which is more meant for long range, while the Marceau has slower shells, which make it a lot harder for it to farm at longer distance. It's more meant for short, medium ranges, rather than Kleber is meant for medium, long, and short if it really needs to. So Marceau is definitely one of my favorite ships in the game. A lot of fun to play, very maneuverable, very versatile. It does have very nice anti-air as well than compared to the Kleber. You do get DFAA, which is very nice. Very nice for sure. All right, so out of the honorable mentions out of the way, the final coal ship we'll be recommending for the top 5 for must-haves. I really hate to say it. I really do, but it's a U-45. Like, I hate it so much to say it, but that damn thing, dude. Like, all of us don't even want this ship in the game, but the thing is, it's so absurdly broken that it's like a must-have. It's just so easy to play, good to play. It's so maneuverable underwater. It's insanely fast. Torpedoes hit very hard, very easy to use. Concealment is really strong for this ship. Overall, top tier ship. I don't recommend subs, but I recommend this as a coal ship just because it's literally one of the top broken ships in the game. That's the only reason why I recommend it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or concerns, or have your own top 5 must-have coal ships for this year, let me know. Thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next video.